Hello everyone, welcome back. So we are going to continue the optional methods. So let's open the optional class and see what are the methods which we are going to discuss right now. I'm going to cover here there are three important methods because we checked is present which will check whether the data is available or not, and there is another method if present. If present means if data available, what I need to do, I mean some operation we need to provide. So when we can have if present, then we always have a else. This is like if condition. So when the if present, we always have a else part. Okay. So to handle the else part, we have some other methods also here. Like let me show you here. Or else. See, or else method and or else get is present. You are doing something. Or else there are three types of process here. One which will accept the data, and second one will accept a supplier, and third one will accept a supplier. Correct? So let's see each and every one of them what they're gonna do. Right? Let's create a new example. I'm in a new class. Optional if else example. Our main method also. Just delete this one. Okay, so what we are going to do? First, we are going to test the or else method. Okay, let's create a method static void. I'm gonna test out the or else method here. Okay, so what is the use case we are going to try? So we are going to retrieve a person name, a person from our repository, and then we are retrieving the name from that person DTO. Okay, so how are you going to do that? So we have a method, right, which will return an optional of person. So I'm going to call the optional of person. So person equal method is available person repository dot get person optional. So which will run the John as object. Okay. So here I'm retrieving the name string name equal. I'm checking whether the person is present. We know that is present will return a boolean true or false. If present, I'm going to print the person dot get. So I had an object. So from the object I'm going to get the name of it. Then if not, then name not found or data not found. Okay, this is will help us to whatever we need to do. So I'm gonna print the name also, or else person name. Okay, let me call the method here, or else. Okay, so now I'm going to run the method to see the outcome of it. So we got the proper data. But have you seen something strange here? Because we are trying to use the or else method, but I haven't used or else anywhere. Okay, so this is the line which we are trying to modify. Okay, we are going to simulate the same kind of scenario. I mean, same line here. So just copy and paste it. So instead of is present, what we are going to check if present. Okay. Okay, we don't know how to use person. Let me use a map. So map which will help us to get the person name, right? So get name. Okay, here. So person name is available. It's checking whether the person name is available. So what will happen if the person is not available? Then what you need to do? Okay. So here the else part comes into play. So we can do the same thing here, whatever we did here. So we can simply put a no data found. So now it makes sense. This is kind of traditional way of handling the code. This is slightly smarter way of doing that. So I'm making use of or else method. So you're checking the person name is available. Okay, if the name is available, then it return. So scenarios there are no names available or a null value. It will go to the or else block and it will return the data not found. Okay. Okay. So the first one we verified. Let's create another method which will check the second or else method. Or else get. Okay. So this is going to be pretty much the same thing, but one small change we are going to do. So instead of or else, we are going to use the or else get method. Okay. So let's close this and try or else. Just take a look at or else method, or else get method, which will accept a supplier. So what you can do is, we know that, right? What supplier will do? Supplier will distribute some data, but which will not accept any input parameters. Okay. So or else get method, I'm not going to use any input parameters because that is a supplier syntax. I'm going to open a, you can simply put a SOP here, so and print the name, or not print the name and print the statement which you need to return. Data not found. Or else what is happening here? Okay, so this or else get, right, we need to return something. So instead of printing them, you can return, you need to return actually, return data not found. Okay. You might have wondered why I have an error here since I'm written or even returning the data. Because it's just a single statement. We don't need the return. You can simply just return data not found. Correct? Okay. Or else get person name. Okay, let me run this method and see. Run it. Now we got the name as we expected. Correct? But there are other things also. Here we just directly returned something. In case if I want to have some business logic over there. Okay, this is the supplier, right? You can define something here. So you can open and close parenthesis here and return data, and inside you can write some logic. For example, to send a notification mail or initiate any script. So what we are trying to see here is, if the data is available, it will do the job. If not available, it will return no data found. Along with that, it will do some other operations also because it's a supplier method. Okay. Now let's run it. See, now we got the same outcome. So the next method which we are going to discuss, it's pretty much similar to this one. So the first thing what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy and paste the method here, and or else throw. So here what we are going to do, in case if data is not found, instead of sending some random message, I need to send out, or I need to return a exception message. So how we can do that? Okay, so name or else throw. That is a third method, which will again accept a supplier. Correct? Supplier means you don't have any input parameters for that. And then I'm going to raise a exception, or new runtime exception. Runtime exception, and you can provide some random message here, name not found. It's pretty much straightforward, right? Now let's run the third method. We'll see the impact of it. Run it again. Now we got the data. Okay, so when the exception will be thrown, if the person get name is not available or the data is not available. So we want to see how when the exception will occur. So what I'm going to do is, if the name is not available, what will happen? Obviously the else part will work, right? So I'm going to modify the name here. I'm going to keep the name is as a null here. So when it comes here, the name will be empty or a null here. It's not empty, it's null here. So obviously it will go for the else block, which will throw an exception. Okay, let's run it. See, we got the exception, whatever we throwed here. Okay. Okay, so next video we're gonna discuss about the if present method.